Hi everyone, I have Emmy here with me today. She's a model here in Los Angeles and has gorgeous brunette hair. The goal here today is to always make sure that we keep her very natural looking, but we also want to just eliminate all her red tones. I have just the formula for you. So for this, I'm going to use Redken EQ shades, and I like to do this on wet hair. This way that it can really get in there and saturate into the hair and give you really full coverage. Now, I'm going to be using 6GN and 6N. When you look at the color wheel, what is across from red? It's green. So we need to use green to cut out any of the red tones. And I'm also going to add a little bit of clear in here so that we can add a little bit of shine as well. So I'm going to use my scale here, and I'm going to start with 1 ounce of 6N, 0.5 ounces of 6GN, and then 0.5 ounces of the clear. And then whatever I mix in the bowl, I want to do equal parts to the processing solution. For application, I love to do this on damp towel dried hair. I always feel that you can get better saturation, and so I'm actually just going to start going through like as if I'm doing a single process. Now, when I do this, I like to leave out the front hairline because few things. One, it's always lighter naturally around the face, and two, these little hairs here tend to grab a little quicker and darker faster anyways. So I'm gonna avoid that hairline right there. And we're gonna just go through and do like we're doing our normal root retouch application. And afterwards, I'm going to drag down the color with my comb and then apply all the way through to the ends. I have a lot of brunettes and I love doing brunettes. The major problem with brunettes usually is that they have these unwanted red undertones. So I find myself doing a lot of brunettes and adding a green to the formula so that I can try and cut that out as much as possible. And I chose a level 6 with clear because naturally she is a 6, and we don't want to necessarily take her darker. We want to keep her still at that level 6, but just cutting out those red tones. So I always love to add clear in there. I also love Redken shades because I feel like it's a little on the cooler, ashier toned side. So whenever I'm looking for an ashier result or a cooler toned result, I always go with Redken shades. Now we can take our sections and kind of start feathering this and working its way down. This is exactly why I like to do it on wet hair, because it just kind of, you can move the color much better, it glides better, the color just moves faster, it spreads better. So still gonna leave the ends out a little bit more here. I'm gonna just kind of take some sections and make sure that I'm overlapping a little bit onto what I left over and then dragging that down. Gonna leave out her ends still. Those are the last to go. Naturally, our front hairline and our ends are always a little bit lighter. So as far as processing time goes, it's better to do it this way. Make sure you really saturate the hair, all the strands. Now that I have it kind of brought all the way through is now when I'm gonna hit her hairline. So here is the very last step. Sometimes I like to just feather that in so we don't give her a harsh line there. Just give it a little feathering. And we can take that and comb that in. Again, it's okay if the ends are not as saturated as throughout here. We're just creating a very natural, blended brunette here. So now that we have her color fully applied, we're gonna go ahead and wait. I usually like to say 15 to 20 minutes, so I'll check in at about 15 minutes. The thing about semi-permanent color is that it does, over time, get darker, so I do like to watch it and check it. Again, we don't necessarily want to make our hair too much darker. We want to keep it the natural. Emmy told me that before we even got started that her hair, since it's lightened up over the time, her eye color actually looks more greener. But what happens is when we start taking and cutting out all that red tone in her hair, she usually says that once after we've put the color in and it's nice and fresh, she actually starts noticing her eye color turning more of like a bluish color. And it's so beautiful. And so that's the best part about this, is we're just capturing her natural beauty in every aspect. Here is our finished results. This gorgeous brunette here without any red undertones. And I always like to recommend every 6 to 8 weeks for maintenance. This is really awesome because it's actually non-damaging to the hair when you're using a semi-permanent. In fact, it kind of moisturizes the hair by sealing the cuticle back down and adding a lot of shine. In the meantime, I always send her home with the Redken Color Extend Brown Light Shampoo Conditioner. This here is going to help her maintenance be perfect in the sense that when she comes back, it won't be actually even as red. We're just kind of fixing some toning.